Hello friends, Hattie here for Happy Hour with Honeybee Stampers. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful evening. I'm gonna just give my camera a minute. Let me get some cleaner grid paper here to work with, and I'm gonna give everybody a minute to find me. I did do a little announcement over on my team page, so hopefully some of my team members will hop on. Let's see. We'll do. I usually like to use the smaller paper. Here's a pack. Okay, there we go. All right, hi guys. I hope you guys are doing great. Tonight, I have a fun technique for you, and it's an easy one, a super easy one. You probably have seen it already, and if you have, let me know that. If you haven't, I want to know that too, because that's always fun. We're going to be doing a little Christmas card, if you can imagine that. So this past weekend, I had my my Sweet and Simple card class that I do here in the studio. I also ship some of those, well, not some, I ship them to go as well. So if people who are not able to come in person and they want the kits cut and prepped for them and sent to them so they can create on their own, I also do that. And so I'm going to share with you the cards that we did this past weekend. The way that I designed these cards is I was thinking, okay, we've got a retiring list going on right now. A lot of things have sold out already. And I learned my lesson from the last time I had a Sweet and Simple card class, and I just designed based on the retiring list. And then when we had the class, people would fall in love with a card or a stamp set and they'd want to purchase it. And then guess what? It was sold out. So this time I went on and I looked really closely to see what was still available, and then I designed based on that. So let me show you this stamp set right here, Let's Set Sail. This stamp set is retiring. The punch that coordinates with it is not. That is carrying over, but the stamp set, if you like it, is retiring. It's got this really cool little stamp right here that looks like a kind of a reflection on the water. So I did a very simple masculine card here, and then the paper in the background is actually paper from the Adventure Awaits or something like that. It's also retiring. It's from the mini catalog. Oh shoot, I forgot to put on my do not disturb, so hopefully my phone I won't have a problem. Okay, so then that's one of the cards that we did. The next stamp set that I picked that I really loved, oh gosh, I love this one. And I think everybody who came to class, except for maybe one, purchased this stamp set. And it's only $10 right now, so it was a complete steal. And then I created this monochromatic card for that. I do a video tutorial showing you how to put all these cards together. But let me just give you a little heads up about my Sweet and Simple card classes, because I have people asking me about them all the time. Like, well, I don't have all those stamp sets that you're showcasing. Like, how would I participate if it's long distance? Well, I'll use this as an example here. So you can see that this is a pretty generic card, right? I've got some layers on here. I will include that designer series paper. I'll include all of the layers. The only thing I'm not going to do is stamp for you or include the stamp. So if you don't have blessings of home and you don't plan to buy this $10 stamp set, then you would just use a stamp set that you already had and just plug that in right there, plug in a sentiment right there, and you're good to go. So these classes are awesome for just that. Okay, this is another stamp set that is retiring, and love the font and the sentiments down here, so I thought I would use that, and I created this card. Let me see for this one, okay, so sometimes I'll stamp in the inside, sometimes I don't. But this card right here features some of this really pretty paper that has sold out. I will give you a heads up about that. And it also features a die that is retiring. I can't remember the name of the die right now. Boy, I'm going to have to make a list of these items so that you guys can see what they are. But this die is retiring. I use it all the time. This ribbon is retiring and has sold out, actually. I just spit on my card. Oops. The embellishments are the heart embellishments, and they are retiring as well. And then this lattice that I have in the background here, that is a die that's retiring, and it was super cheap. So I want to say it was like, I don't know, went from like $40 to like $12 or something like that. Just about everybody bought the die because it's really pretty, and it's really pretty in some of the metallic colors too. So anyways, this is a simple card that we put together. And then we've got this one, Frame Florets, one of my favorites. It's absolutely beautiful, and the sentiments are beautiful. Like, everything about this particular stamp set is so me. I just really love the font and the flowers and how it's designed. So I put together this really simple card here to showcase this. I use the sentiment as kind of like the focal point, right? Now, this little embossing folder that's in there, that is a online exclusive embossing folder only, and it comes in a pack of three different embossing folder designs, and they are amazing. They are currently sold out, so they're expecting more to come in the beginning of May, so I'm excited for that. The paper here is a retiring paper that I will let you know has sold out, but I mean, I'm sure you have some beautiful paper laying around if you wanted to recreate this. But you'll see that this punch right here and this label, I love the way that that looks. So you're going to see me using that tonight in my demonstration. And then on the inside, I've just stamped the sentiment and then, of course, the little flower behind it. So I had a lot of comments during class that said that they really like that element, and sometimes they forget to do that, that you can add a little bit of a little stamping behind your sentiment that doesn't overpower it, but just adds to it. So I love that. Okay, oh, I don't have my little bear stamp. I forgot to bring it, but I'll just show you the card. So then I made this fun fold card. Okay, this designer series paper is still available. This stamp set is still available. It's perfect for babies. And yeah, so I just kind of showed them, I score everything and punch out as much as I can. And then this is a simple card to put together, but it's super adorable, right? So all of this stuff, from what I know, is still available. And then lastly, because we do 6 cards, lastly is this card. So this is the Tile Technique card. I'm going to show you how to create a tile card. I'd love to, like I said earlier, I'd love to know if you've done one before. And if you have, like, feel free to share it in the comments. I'd love to see your creations. So this was the card that they did, and I featured the olive branch stamp set. This is also retiring, and it is still available, and it's really, really gorgeous. A gorgeous stamp set. So it's definitely a stamp set that you would want if you are looking to make some like sympathy cards. So this is great. So I put "May your heart begin to heal" on the front, and then after I did, I thought, you know what, I should have put "sorry" on the front and then that on the inside of the card. But on the inside, I just kind of stamped that little olive branch there, and it's distinctive, so it's beautiful. But with this Tile Technique here, you can see that I was inspired by the colors. In Portugal, they've got all of these gorgeous tiles with this blue, really bright, vibrant blue color. So that's kind of what I was going for. But you'll see that I've stamped the image here, but then some of the image is a little bit disrupted by the score lines that I've created to give it that tile look. So like it looks like grout, hopefully. I don't know. It does to me. So hopefully it does to you guys too. All right. So that's what I created, and we're going to make a project with that tonight. So let's get started. I'm going to show you the card because I had voted or I had put a poll out there as to, do people like to see the card first, or do they like to be surprised? And the majority says that they like to see it. So let me grab it. Okay, here is the card that we're making tonight. So it's a Christmas card, and if you look closely, I have used that Tile Technique, but I've put a little spin on it, and I've created it so that there's diagonals instead of the straight lines. So I'm going to show you guys that today. Now, I love our scoring tool. It looks like this. If you don't have this in your stamping arsenal, it is an absolute must. Let me know if you don't have it. I will definitely help you get it because I use it all the time. Let's see. Okay. Cut some paper for a second. Okay, so when you're doing this technique, because you want to have even increments when you're scoring, you're going to want to cut your paper so that it is even. So typically when I'm cutting a layer, I always do like 4 by 5 1/4. Well, for this one, you're going to want to do 4 inches, which is fine. Okay, and then instead of 5 1/4, you're gonna just wanna go to 5 inches. So this is gonna be just me showing you the tile technique itself, or how to set it up. So simple. So you're going to place it into the corner of your scoring board. You can also do it on your paper trimmer like I just had and just move it. And I'll show you what I mean by that in a minute. But you're gonna take your tool and you're going to score fairly deep, but don't, you know, tear your paper, at 1 inch, at 2 inch, at 3 inch, like that. And then you're going to turn it and you're going to score it again at 1 inch, at 2 inches, and at 3 inches, and then one more at 4 inches. Then once you've done that, you've got what looks like some tile that you would find in a bathroom, right? I'm going to set this to the side because I want to do a diagonal version of it. And I'm going to come back to this and show you what I did later. But so that's basically it. You're going to take some cardstock or whatever you're stamping on, and you're just going to score it. And you're going to score it in even, you know, first you're going to cut it down to an even measurement, and then you're going to score it in increments of 1. And there we go. So that's how we did this card. And I scored everything for every card for all of my customers, and then all they had to do was stamp. So when you are stamping, you do have to keep in mind that you don't want to push so hard that the ink goes into these little crevices here. You know, you want nice firm pressure, but not too much. So there's that. Okay, so let me show you how I created this card where we've got these diagonals instead of those straight up and down lines. So for this one, I have actually already cut my paper, and if you are going to recreate this, I will tell you that you're going to want to cut your paper to 4 by 4, so a nice square. We're going to stick it up in the corner again. Oh, no, back up, we're not. We're going to put it over here in the center. So you'll see here on my scoring tool, I've got a black permanent marker that I just ran down the center of the scoring tool to tell me where exactly 6 was, right in the middle, right? And so what we're going to do is we're going to line up these points here to that number 6 line, top and bottom. Looks good. Make sure you're holding it in place, and you're just going to score down. And then I'm going to go to the number 7 line, and I'm going to score down. Same with 8. Okay, and then let's go on this side to 5. I don't want it to jump the track. And then 4. Oh shoot, I just said that and look what I did. That's okay. Okay, so now we've got what looks like this, okay? And then you're just going to simply turn it and do the exact same thing so that you've got some kind of like crosshairs here. There we go. And then back over to the 7 and 8. Okay, holding it in place, I'm going to go to 5. Oopsie, moved it. Just line it back up. 5, and then 4, and then we're good there. Okay, so you see how that worked out. Now, I think this would be a little bit more difficult to do on this here. I mean, I think you could still do it, but it would be you physically sliding it, making sure these are lining up correctly before you score the next one, and then sliding it again, okay? If you were doing it like we did earlier, now this would be a whole lot easier. You would just kind of keep it flush to the top here, and you would score it at the 1 inch mark, and then you'd slide it down to 2 inches and score it, and so on and so forth. So that would be a whole lot easier on this paper trimmer than the diagonal. So again, if you don't have your score tool, make sure you get one. If you guys are out there and you have a score tool, tell me what you like to do with your score tool. Like, what are some things you like to create? They're great for boxes and bags and that kind of thing. So, okay, now let's bring in our paper again. And I was kind of going back and forth about whether or not I was going to put this on red paper or if I was going to put this on Sahara sand. And I thought, you know, let's just stop belaboring it and we'll create this one on some red paper. And I will tell you that the Sahara sandpaper is also retiring. This is one of my favorite colors. It's such a great neutral color, and I'm super sad that it's retiring. So if you don't have some of that, make sure you grab it. All right, let's get all of our stamps out. Oh, I left them on the table over there. Hold on. Okay, yet again, I am showcasing some stamp sets that are retiring. And yes, I am doing a Christmas card in April, so forgive me, but I just had to. I love this stamp set. So we're going to do the Christmas season stamp set, which is just all images, and then we're going to use the Christmas Remember as our sentiment. All right, so this is a photopolymer stamp set, and I'm going to bring back in that piece that I had already done the tile technique right in the diagonals. We're going to stick that there, and I'm going to have to like peel off because I had all my blocks are just being occupied right now for different classes and such. All right, so I'm going to place this stamp on here, and Pear Pizzazz is another ink color that is retiring. Hi, Erin. Thank you. I love this set too. I did a very, very simple but just elegant Christmas card with some dazzling paper like a couple years ago with this stamp set and the Stamparatus, and I love it. I'm gonna have to find that picture. I know I've posted it somewhere. I'll have to find it and share it. Okay, so then we're going to just stamp. And again, like I said, kind of even pressure, but not too hard. The thing about this particular stamp set, it is also distinctive. So it does already give that effect of like missing some ink. But when you look at the card, especially if you had it in person, you would definitely see like, wow, there is a bit of a technique there where it looks like tile. So I'm going to start like this. Let me do this right here. And when you're stamping like I'm doing right now, and I'm creating kind of a collage of images, I highly recommend starting in the center and then working your way out. Because so if you start on the outside and work your way in, sometimes you're gonna have really large images that you're not gonna be able to fit on there, and then it's not gonna turn out the way you want it to. So let me grab my cleaner. Where did I put it? Oh, right in front of me. I like to store my chamois in these little cases here. Keeps them helps them to not dry out so fast. Okay, so I'm gonna throw on this little pine cone. Now these pine cones are designed to be two-step stamping, where it's, you know, it has a little more detail when you layer it on top of each other, but it's kind of like a messy two-step stamping. I'm not going to be showcasing that two-step stamping, but I will, here actually, I will show you what it looks like in case you were wondering. So like, for instance, okay, so if I were to use the same colors, right? So you've got those two colors there. This is the one I'm going to use. And then the stamp that actually coordinates with that, because there's two sets of pine cones in this, something on my stamp. There's two steps of pine cones in this stamp set that do this, okay? So now, instead of stamping off, I'm just gonna go full force over that area, okay? And then you'll see that you've got a two-step look to it. So this is just obviously one step, and then here we go with some detail. So there's that. Okay, I am not going to be doing that, but I wanted to show you that had that function. I am just going to ink this up in our Sahara sand. Boo-hoo, so sad this is leaving. And I'm just going to kind of start, oh, I kind of forgot what I was doing and put a lot of pressure there for a second. All right, there we go. And then let's stick one over here. Okay. And we'll go ahead and stick some down here. Okay, you guys see that coming together, right? All right, let's dry this or wash that off and pull it off. And what's our next image that we're gonna put on? let's do this little green. I feel like, okay, we'll do this one. I wanted some sprigs in there to kind of break it up a little bit. So what I did for this color is I just stamped off. I used the Pear Pizzazz again, if I can get that out. Pear Pizzazz, and I stamped off. So we're gonna stamp off, and then I'm just gonna add that little twig right there, and we'll stamp off. Just stick one right there. Okay, let's do one more. Stick it right there because I want to add some other colors there. Okay, I really have a little blank spot there that I'm gonna have to fix. So next that what I'm gonna use is a color that is not retiring, thank goodness. Hi, Cindy Adair. Yay, I'm glad you're watching. Thank you. Okay, so let's grab a little block for this one. Love these little berries here. So we're gonna stamp this in real red. And like I said, thank goodness this is not retiring. And let's put a little real red right in here. So you can kind of see how I am filling. Haha, that didn't go over any of the lines. You can see how I am kind of filling out my image. And I'm sure you guys, if you're crafty, you've probably made your own designer series paper before, so you know exactly how this goes. Okay, let's stick some right there. Right there. All right. Maybe a little bit right here. I'm probably getting carried away now. Let's stop. Okay. Now I do want to come back in and grab one more pine cone and fill in that little gap right there. Otherwise, it's going to drive me nuts. Hi, Susan. How are you? Thank you for hopping in. I know you're busy. Let's stick this right there on the corner. Good enough, right? Yeah. No. Not good enough. Okay, one more, you guys. Hang in there. One more stamp. I'm going to do another Pear Pizzazz. Okay, right. Let's add just a little more green right in there. Now I'm happier. Happier. Okay, there. Now, let us add one more color. So when I was creating this, I thought, you know, this is going to look so great with just like a pop of black. Like, you know how I love to emboss white sentiments on black paper. Well, that's what I thought, right? I really want to do something with a pop of black. So I saw that we had this little, let me stop for a second and talk to you guys about something. Let me see if I can focus. Okay, I can't focus on it. Anyways, I was just getting ready to clean this. And when I wiped it, rubbed it off, it's got all this like fuzz on here. So if you are somebody who loves to use baby wipes, you are going to find that a lot of times it will have like, it'll leave residue on your stamps and it'll leave like fuzz on your stamps. So to avoid that, you're going to want to use a chamois. So a chamois for sure, or even our Stampin' Scrub and Mist, that's perfect too. But if you're using like and you know, baby wipes are good for here and there, but I'm telling you guys, it leaves like little fuzzies on there that will drive you nuts and it'll mess up your projects. So to avoid that, you know what to do. All right, let's put some little dots in some of these little empty spots here to add some interest to our project. Right here. Let's see, maybe a couple right there. Okay, am I going overboard? Maybe. Okay, one more, right here, right there. Okay, now I'm good. Oh, I love it. I love how it's looking. You guys, this technique is, I don't even know if I should be calling it a technique because it doesn't feel technique-ish, but it's so cute. So now you've got that tile look, right? If you saw this in person, you'd really be able to tell. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I have already cut the paper. Now, because this paper is 4x4, and again, like I said, I'm going to take and do it on real red as a card base instead of Sahara sand, even though I absolutely love how that turned out. I am going to need to cut the paper, the layering piece down a little bit. So let me get my bone folder. I cannot craft without my bone folder. Okay, so if you look at the sample that I did from class, where'd I stick it? Okay, so here's the sample that I did from class, right? And it's got 1/4 of an inch of a layer around it. And this was already a 4x5 inch piece of cardstock. Well, when I did the 4 1/4, then it went all the way to the end of the paper, which is fine because I just had them put a little border of Very Vanilla on the top and bottom, and it just kind of balanced it out. But I wanted for this one not to have it go all the way to the end. So the best thing I could do is go 4 1/8 instead of 4 1/4. So now this is 4x4 inches, and we're going to add some adhesive, and we're going to layer it right on our 4 1/8 by 4 1/8. So you're going to see just that little bit of black popping out, and you can really see the difference there in those layers, right? So you got 1/8 of an inch and 1/4 of an inch there. Okay. Now we're going to grab some ribbon that's also retiring. I'm telling you, I went with everything that was retiring. This is real red, and it's called faux linen ribbon, and it's lovely, very lovely, and it ties wonderfully, and it's great. So we're just going to tie a little knot. I shared this knot technique with my bone folder in class this weekend. I always like to share this because it's so helpful for me, at least. But I'm just going to tie a little knot like that. And what I do is I just kind of ease my bone folder out. When it gets right there, I will start to pull it taut. And the tighter I pull it, the more that my bone folder will come out. And then you've got this perfect, ribbon all the way around that's not loose that you're having to deal with. So there's that. Now for my original card, I did tie this into a bow, but since this came out so pretty with this little knot, I'm not even going to tie it into a bow. I'm just going to cut it off right here. All right, let's cut that, and I'll probably trim that more later. There. So we've got that. Now for our sentiment. Now on the original card, I did, "May this be a Christmas to remember and cherish." You guys, these sentiments are so pretty, okay? So of course, let's switch it up and do something different. With a vote of anybody who's watching, tell me if you think I should do "Have a Holly Jolly Christmas," or if I should do "Friends Like You Make This Season Special." So which one of those two, Holly Jolly or Friends? Just comment down below, and whichever one I see, that's the one I'm going to do. So you guys tell me. So while we're waiting for that to come through, I will tell you that I die cut out a circle with our Stylish Shapes circle already. And then I did have a little layer that I put on it because I wanted a little bit more red there. And I'm going to take some black, and I'm going to punch out a piece with the Label Me Fancy punch. I need to go in and label all my punches like this. So this punch is also retiring, and it's a fantastic punch. So as you saw earlier with my card from Sweet and Simple Card Class, I did that then with a little circle layer there, okay? So it's just so cute, so cute. So make sure that you have this punch in your arsenal, and it's probably on sale as well. A lot of the items that I'm sharing tonight are on sale, and yeah, a great time to get them. Okay, so now something you will notice. Now remember, you guys, I'm waiting on somebody to vote as to whether or not I should use "Have a Holly Jolly Christmas" or "Friends Like You Make This Season Special." So somebody let me know which one of those I should use. All right, so we've got the circle, we've got this little layer, but look what happened here. That's not going to work, right? So what I'm going to do is just cut this in half, and I'm going to make this into like a little faux label. So you're just going to cut straight up the middle. You don't have to be precise with that. Ooh. Thank you, Cindy. I appreciate that. Okay, Cindy wants to go with Holly Jolly Christmas. So let's do that. Oh, wow. I've never even used this one before, so this is great. This is great. Let's stick this on. You guys will see me put my label on. For those of you who've never seen it before, this is the way that I do it. I stick my sticker on my block. Okay. And then I peel off the backing of this, which already was peeled off. So maybe I have used this before, I don't know. And then I hover over it until it looks like everything's pretty much lined up, and I press down. And that is how I get my stamp on there. Okay, now my only thing is I hope this fits. So we're gonna stamp this in real red. Ink this up. Okay. All right, there. Okay, you guys know me. I probably would end up stamping this again because it's not down, it's not up far enough. It's not as centered as I want it, but that's okay. I'm really going to try to push through that perfectionism and do it anyway. All right, we'll add this to our scallop circle layer, and that scallop circle has just got the tiniest bit of red that pops out, right? And then remember, we cut this label in half, and all you're going to do is add a little adhesive to the back of there and the back of there. And we're going to make sure it's kind of straight. There we go. There's that. And then same on this side. Ooh, my adhesive is sticking out. Okay, let's see. Is that even? That looks good. Okay. So now you see how we were able to stretch out that label to have it still look like a label, but fit on this. So you've got a little space in the back there. Okay, so now how we're here, back to our card. Here's our original card that I mentioned, or that I shared earlier. And so I had it up and down this way. Let's just be all the way different here. How do I want to do this? Maybe like that. Okay. We'll move this up a little bit. Bring that over a little bit. All the way to the left. And then we will stick this. Oh, I brought it too far. Okay, I'm doing this second card kind of on the fly here. There. I think that's what we're gonna do. Is that cute? I think it'll work. Yeah. Okay, it'll work. So I'm just going to trim these up a little bit more so they're not quite so long. And then I'm going to put this on with some dimensionals. And then I have one more sample to show you. I won't create it, but I will show it to you at the end here. Okay. Now, okay, I'm like changing my mind again. I don't think I like it out to the side. It's driving me nuts. Okay, so we're going to bring this ribbon down. Make sure it opens in the right direction. It does. I'm going to center this. I am such a, it's hard for me to do things off center. I've seen tons of people who create and make the cutest cards, and they're just like a little bit skewed off center. Super cute. That's just not me. So I try, but okay. Let's put that there. And then we're going to put this right in the center. Yeah. Do I have a dimensional that's stopping this ribbon from coming down? I do. Hold on. Get off of there. Okay. And then, oh, that's cute. It almost looks like a present. So that's just a little glimpse into my design process. I mean, I will go back and forth, and I will say, okay, this color, that color, this layout or that layout. Yeah, it takes me a while to design my cards for sure, but I just kind of go with until it feels right. And then we'll stick this right in the middle. Okay. And then I'll go back and forth. Oh, am I off the screen? I'll go back and forth as to do like the ribbon above or below or over it. I'm going to go with under. Under. Okay, so there's the second card. So cute, right? I think it's adorable. And then we've got some embellishments that are retiring. I love these matte black dots. I seriously, before the retirement list came out, I'd said, I really hope these don't go away. I love them. I use them all the time. And then on the retiring list, such a bummer. Okay, let's grab a couple of these off of here. And we got plenty of space on here. Do one like right there. And then we'll do one at the bottom. That might that might be too much. Okay, I'm gonna move on. There we go. Now we've got our two cards. I hope that you guys like them. I hope you'll try this technique. Thank you, Susan. Isn't that fun? Christmas card in April. So you guys will have to tell me, do you like the Sahara Sand? This is retiring color, right? Better, or do you like the Real Red, traditional Christmas? So let me know which one of those cards you like better. And then, all right, so we know we've done the vertical, right? And then I said, well, what would it look like if the increments were smaller? Because, you know, we have tile out there that's smaller. And then I said, well, what would it look like if we use a stamp that was a little bit more detailed? So these have kind of bold images, right? So you could see right away if there's a crevice there. But I wanted to see with a detailed stamp, would it still show through? And I think it does. So this is an awesome technique. And for this one, instead of doing 1 inch, I did every half of an inch across there. And I did a little bit of a different mat because this is a 4x5 and it doesn't center perfectly. So I just moved it all the way to the right, and then it gets this great mat for me that I really like. And then you'll see here that I used a sentiment from this retiring stamp set. So we use the beauty of friendship, this sentiment for this card. And then I grabbed the You Truly Inspire Me for this card. And then here is the punch, but I placed the punch on the card first. Then I put the ribbon around it. So you'll see the ribbon's kind of like over the label. And then I put the sentiment over the top. And I didn't have to cut the label or anything for that. So I hope that this inspired you. Lots of great products that I shared tonight that are retiring and that are on the last chance list. Make sure that you don't miss out. A lot of great deals too. Thank you, Cindy. I appreciate that so much, so much. So let's bring some of the other cards in, right, that I showed from earlier. This little fun fold. I really hope my camera is catching all of these pictures. I can't tell right now. I don't have my computer on. And then we've got this one, again, Blessings of Home. I think that's the name of the stamp set. It is $10, you guys. This stamp set's so beautiful. And I mentioned in my class that when we had a celebration item called Calming Camellia, and I stamped it, and I did that little technique where I take my blender pen and some white craft ink, and I color in the leaves, I think that this would be perfect with that as well. So kind of think of that, have that in the back of your head. Okay, guys, let me bring in the stamp sets that I shared with you. So if you're writing them down and you want to go check them out, you can. I totally forgot my little bear one. So this is like Forest Friends or something along those lines. So Christmas season, that's retiring. It's leaving us. Blessings of Home is retiring. Let's Set Sail is retiring. Fragrant Flowers, I used the mess out of this stamp set before. Retiring. Olive Branch, Beauty of Friendship, Framed Florets, and Christmas to Remember, all of that retiring. And as far as I know, it's all still available, and some of them are at a deep discount. All right, guys, have a great night, and thank you for stopping in. And I will be uploading this to YouTube if you want to reference it over there. All right, have a great night. Bye-bye.